buzzing. He will be speaking about high-level mentality. That's what took him all the way to the NFL. So let us welcome Toastmaster Robert Jackson.
Today I want to talk about the high-level mentality because that's what took me all the way to the NFL. But before I talk about that, I need to be honest about where it came from. When I was 5 years old, I watched my home split in half. My parents had been together for 20 years and I seen the end of it. My mom had stopped coming home. She would be gone for days, sometimes weeks. And one night my dad got fed up. He blacked out. I was a little boy. I'll never forget this night. The look in his eyes, full of anger and rage. The rage filled the room like fire looking for something to burn. As I watched my parents go back and forth, arguing, screaming to the top of their lungs, I just watched. In my head as a little boy, I thought my dad was gonna kill my mom. And the only thing that stopped him was my sister. Before he can get his hands on her, she jumped in the middle and yelled, "Stop!" That moment changed everything. My family was never the same, and neither was I. I remember the next day trying to speak and I couldn't. I couldn't get a word out without stuttering. So I eventually just stopped talking. I carried that silence for 25 years because that night had traumatized me. Imagine living with something so heavy that you feel comfortable not speaking at all. That night is when my speech impediment began. I learned how to keep things in, how to walk in rooms and avoid attention, how to not ask for help, but I was still watching, still becoming, still learning. But what shaped me the most in those quiet years was my sister. Being 12 years older than me, she raised me. She was like a second mom to me. She taught me, without even realizing it, how to keep going, how to grind, sacrifice. That became my foundation. That's where the high-level mentality started, not in the field, not in the gym, but in silence, in trauma, in the grind of a woman who never stopped showing up. For years, I carried that silence. I went through school, elementary, middle school, high school, afraid to speak up. Not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I physically couldn't say it. I had problems matching my thinking with my speaking. See, I let opportunities pass me by because I was afraid to talk and get laughed at. I got good at hiding my voice, but what I didn't realize, I was also hiding my power. When I turned 17 years old, entering my senior year, I became obsessed with trying to prove something to others, but mostly to myself. So I poured that silent frustration into sports. But even then, I was behind because my senior year was my first year playing football. Most of the guys had been playing since they was 5 years old. So I had to learn fast. But I kept pushing forward. I worked harder. But after the season, we ended the season 1-9. I knew I wasn't getting recruited. I was lost with no clear direction. I didn't know how to feel about it. I remember one day, I'm sitting on the couch and I get this text message out of nowhere. And I click on it, and there's this guy named Eric Thomas, and he tells this story about a kid who wanted to make a lot of money. And he goes to this guru, and the guru tells him, if you want to make a lot of money, meet me tomorrow at the beach, 4 a.m. The kid shows up, and the guru lures him into the water. The kid goes, and the water gets to his knees. He's thinking to himself, like, man, I want to make money. I don't want to be a lifeguard. But the guru lures him in some more. The kid goes. At this point, the water's at the kid's shoulders. He's thinking about turning around because he has no idea why he's in the water. He's thinking the dude crazy. But before he can turn around, the guru say, I thought you wanted to make a lot of money. The kid said, I do. The guru said, come on in a little further then. The kid trusts him and goes. When the kid gets to the guru's arm reach, the guru grabs him, hold his head underwater. The kid fighting, scratching, drowning. And just before he was about to pass out, the guru lets him up. As the kid comes up, gasping for air, he hears, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I remember pausing that video, standing up, walking outside, looking in the sky. Like, man, I never in my life wanted anything that bad. But that's how bad I wanted to be successful. That's how bad I wanted to change my current environment. See, I didn't come from a place of privilege. I didn't grow up playing football like other kids. I had to develop those skills. And that's how I made it to the NFL. Football is a physical sport. I never had to speak. So actually, I continue carrying that silence. As I stand here today, I still had a high-level mentality. But I want to challenge you guys. How bad do you want to succeed? What's your why? Think about it. Ponder on it. What's going to get you out of bed and do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing but don't feel like it? Tomorrow morning when your alarm clock goes off and you feel like hitting that snooze button, I want you to think about that little boy and ask yourself, how bad do I want to breathe? Because that answer determines how far you will go.